Okay, so hello everyone. Hope right now you're still awake, right? Okay, after lunch. So it's my big pleasure to stand here to share my experience, knowledge, as well as some best practice from the industry. So going forward in 20 minutes, I would like to summarize up what the resonance and retail, the key to circular apparel supply chain. I think that the works for resonance, I think to everyone, talking about feasibility, feasible, try to bounce back after the hard pressing compression. But the real definition of resonance is really good to know. So after finding a lot of definition and as well as the terms, I get a one very good definition. So oh yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. So this definition I love very much. It's about not only talking about the good experience after long term of distress, a long term of bad experience, but you're talking about the process and the outcome of those successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experience, especially through mentally, emotional, and behavior flexibility and adjustment to external and internal demands. This is exactly very good to what we are currently facing in the apparel industry. As mentioned by Eugene, yeah, I've been working for this industry for more than 20 years. So I have a lot of good experience, of course, a lot of bad experience after these years, especially in supply chain. So going forward, I would like to share some of the experience and some of the findings that in the industry. Okay. So I think everyone knows that for the current challenges of apparel industry, first of all, I think everyone knows that for this industry, including the apparel sector, this is the largest polluters globally. As you mentioned, as Stephen mentioned, that for the cotton, for example, for the genuine leather, they need a lot of water to try to make one piece of fabric. And also, yeah, for denim jeans, yeah, for one people, 15 years of water to make one jeans. So this is confirmed to be very largest polluters in globally. And then there's a lot of waste production and also a lot of carbon emissions, so that the carbon bill is very poor. So this is make the situation even worse. And then, as I think everyone knows, linear supply chains. Right now, we are talking about the process of design, make, use, and then dispose. This kind of linear supply chain issues make the situation or impact even more worse. So that's why a lot of industries or fashion manufacturers, they're trying to see what can we do to help to save this industry. So this is, I would like to give the 2 minutes about definition of circular supply chain. I think circular supply chain is a business model that you're talking about. Firstly, they try to extract the value of all the material as much as possible so that it make the products more lifelong. And also, it also emphasizes on the recycle and also the regenerate the life after the end of disposal cycle. So you can see that for the surrounding, you can see that in the general linear supply chain called, we extract the raw material, we do the textile production, and then do the design, and then do the garment production, and then distribute to the retailers, and do the consumer usage, and then dispose. This is so-called a linear supply chain. This is very, very, as mentioned before, this is very bad to the industry and also to the environment and also to the world. So right now, we have to think about a lot of circular supply chain. Means in some of the area, for example, in the manufacturing, there's a lot of renewable energy to try to recycle the energy, try to recycle the water, and also for retailer, they try to think about to redistribute the products, and also, as mentioned in Lacoste, they try to do some repair the garments to resell, and also even go back to the design stage to redesign and remanufacture. And also, we are trying to maximize the value when the product is at the end of the life cycle, trying to recycle to make it good for the new products. So those are the concepts that we have to bear in mind in the going forward, going years. So basically, you can have this type of keywords to be in mind. Reusing, recycling, minimize all the waste, diversify all the resources, eliminating all those redundancy, and also we have to keep ourselves flexibility. So that means there is what we call enhanced resilience, so that we can be able to recover quickly. Okay, so just a quick summarize about what today's traditional linear model. Currently, we have a lot of different methods to try to extract the raw material from the cotton, polyester, whatever material in the world, and then do the production, and then do the distribution, and then the consumption. As mentioned before, that every purchase of 2 t-shirts, there's 1 t-shirt is disposed, and then disposed. So this is a dominant model in the industry. So what are the challenges? Of course, first of all, there are 2 key inefficiencies. First of all, is environmental. Secondly, is the economics. Firstly, as mentioned, that there's depleting the natural ecosystem. If we have a disruption of the general lifespan of the other materials, natural materials, and also contribute to the environmental degradation. And of course, we have to use a lot of water, a lot of scarce resources like energy, chemicals. We lead to the very pollution, and as well as a lot of greenhouse gas emission, so that it make the world a bad place to stay. So, and also we have the, after consumption, we have to dispose the garments. As mentioned, to the landfill, to incineration, that will result in a lot of harmful substances coming up. On top of this, we have also a lot of economic inefficiency. For example, from the economic point of view, it means when it's disposed, it already we represent the loss of economic value in the resources. So this we discard as a waste. And also, we have to reliance of the a lot of raw materials for the production supply chain. It can expose every one of us, especially the brands, to expose to the price volatility and also the supply risks. So I think some of you in the industry know that for last year, for March to June, the cotton price is crazy. So that's why at that time, the cotton product is talking about, for example, 1 yard of fabric talking about $5 for general 30 counts. But right now it's talking about $3. That means a lot of changes on the price. So that if we don't think about the new alternative of the cotton, that will make the situation even more worse. And so what the circular approach can help us today? Firstly, we have to addressing all the environmental challenges. As the concept of the circular economy or circular supply chain, we need to keep our resources to use as long as possible, extracting the maximum value from them. For example, the cotton, we try to use the cotton from the farm and then do the garment, and then after the life cycle, and then we use and then recycle to make it another new products. This is the concept or philosophy of circular supply chain. And secondly, we have to decrease the need for the resource extraction and also waste production. That means we need to cut down all the energy use and also the emission of gases from production. And thirdly, we have to think about to recover or regenerating the products and the material at the end of the life cycle instead of just dispose. So as before that, we have some repair service, resale service, as well as some sort of a new method of to regenerate the life of the garments. And also, I think right here, some of them are designers. We need to design the garments for the long life, for longevity. That means they can be more sustainable, making double use, so that we can enhance or enlarge the life of the products. And again, resale and leasing the clothes is one of the process. Instead of just linear economy, just dispose after use. This is very bad. So it is a kind of approach for the circular economy. At the last but not least, we need to recycle those used garment into new material for the garment manufacturing, so they're creating a new clothes using the recycled material. Yeah, this is what the economy means. And also, by means of circular supply chain, we can unlock two economic opportunity. First of all, we will open a new revenue stream, like the reselling and the leasing, those type of used garment. And also opportunity two is try to increase the efficiency or better use of all those material, like fabric, or all those recycled materials. And so, I just wanted to share 2 minutes about what would be the role of the retailers. I think, yeah, Lacoste did a very good job, yeah, to try to stand themselves out for the sustainability. If the consumer are aware of this sustainability, if the brand do a lot of initiative to try to enhance the image in this area, that absolutely we can have a become a sustainable leader. We can enhance the customer loyalty, and also we can drive some new revenue stream, like we sell this garment to repair the garment, etc. And of course, we can attain the long-term cost saving from reuse of those products, reuse of those materials. And last but not least, and also going forward, we anticipate there's a lot of government, they will make a lot of new strict requirement on the environmental protection. So that if the brands today, they start to do it proactively, they would be able to ahead of the trend to better position themselves for the future. So how do we building the resonance in the circular supply chain? First of all, as mentioned, that for the cotton, there was a very scarce supply. So we need to diversify all those materials. We need to make ourselves or supply chain flexible, so that whenever there's a new old material, recycled material put in the supply chain, that we can use immediately. And also, from the day one, we need to have a concept of design for minimal. That means that we have to reduce a lot of waste. And of course, we need to have a strong relationship with all the key stakeholders. For example, we need to have a good relationship with the suppliers, with those surplus fabrics, collectors, etc. And also, by means of this type of activity, we can enhance our reputation and become a big negotiator in the circular supply chain. And also, it will be prove the future to be more profitable. So I think, yeah, in the next, I think upcoming presentation, I will add Lacoste as well. But right now, it's only two. One is the Patagonia and H&M. I think Patagonia do a very good job. They have a worn and wear program. They ask the consumer to return the used garment so that they can repair and sell to other customers. And H&M, they encourage all the consumers to bring in all those used garment, whatever brands, though they will try to decompose by partnering with one of our Hong Kong innovative research institute called Hong Kong Rita, to try to use a green machine to decompose those cotton polyester products. So the cotton is one side, polyester one side, so then they can separate it to spin into a yarn and then make another garment again. So these are all the good initiatives for the brands. So of course, there's a lot of challenges. I think some audience asked about the challenge. Initially, they have a lot of high investment costs. And also, the consumer, they may not be so well received about the products. So what will be the solution? Maybe you can offset by the potential long-term saving, and also new revenue stream, like the new business for resale or ranking, leasing. And also, we can educating and use an initiative to encourage those consumers to buy those used garments. Okay, so what will be the future outlook of a circular economy, of circular supply chain? So a lot of regulations. So we can make use of this regulation to be a competitive advantage. And also, we can use a lot of new technology, like the blockchain, to enhance the traceability and also the transparency of those used materials, so that you can enhance the reuse of those materials. So I think last but not least, in this presentation, I would like to emphasize on the potential of those circular supply chain to reduce environmental impact and create new business opportunity. And secondly, we can encourage all those retailers to consider how they can implement more circular best practice. Thirdly, they would like to highlight the importance of resilience in today's volatile and uncertain business environment and how circularity can help them to contribute to more business resilience. So, thank you. Thank you so much for all your time. I think it's just right 20 minutes. Thank you.